So that little gray lamb, ewe lamb, standing by the fence post there, has a nose full of porcupine quills.
She's had a confrontation
with a baby porcupine. So, not the first time we've had to deal with this, but happy Thanksgiving.
One hour before we have to leave for Thanksgiving dinner, and pies are cooking in the oven, and what have we got? A problem, thanks to the sheep. First thing on the agenda is to try and get these guys, or girls actually, into the barn so that we can hopefully catch this little girl. She is probably our wildest baby that we have this year. So wish us luck and stay tuned because we're going to show you how we deal with this. Watch, she'll be the one who doesn't come.
Everybody's headed to the barn. That's definitely one of the downsides to Icelandic sheep, in my opinion, is you really, well, maybe sheep in general, I don't know. But you have to have a catch pen. In this case, the barn stall is going to serve that purpose. And as you saw, fortunately, they actually went in relatively decently. So now on to step 2, catch the sheep. Before we go and get the sheep, I've got some tools out here because it's porcupine quills and they're not in too far. What I've got is some pliers that do close fairly tightly. That's important. And what I'm probably going to do, depending on how far they're in, as I say, not the first time I've had to do this, depending how far they are in, I may have to use the side cutters to cut the end off so that they sort of deflate, because porcupine quills are hollow. But we will see, because if they're not in too far, sometimes you can get them out without too much effort. And even with a catch pen,
she's wild, so I don't know
how well this will work.
Not bad, not bad.
So there you can see a little better now that we have her caught. I'm not sure how well we're going to be able to film this. We're just going to get in there and do it. But that's a lot of quills.
That's bad, girl.
So bear with us.
Oh, that one bled, eh? Oh.
It is working. They're not in too far, and these are
baby ones.
Baby porcupine quills, so I don't think they're as bad.
She's got to have 50 in there.
She's got a lot.
Easy, sweetheart. There you go. Don't push them in further or hit me.
Potentially, we've got them all out. Most of them didn't seem to be in super far, and although it's a bit of a process because nobody involved really enjoys this one, it's good to get them out because porcupine quills are basically, at least North American porcupine quills, are designed to, once they go in, they keep working their way in. So you want to get them out sort of as soon as possible. Fortunately, with sheep, at least what we've found in the past, is oftentimes they're not super embedded because the sheep are basically coming up, and cows do the same thing, nosing the porcupine swings its tail, and the sheep usually back off pretty quick and don't do it again, which is a little different than dogs that may actually, you know, be going in for the bite and really get heavily hit. But as I say, not fun for anybody involved. Well, it isn't pretty, but we think we've got them all. We're going to get a towel here, wipe her off a little bit, and just make sure that we didn't miss anything.
Give it a good rinse, make sure it's sort of clean, and make sure that there's no quills still left in there.
But it looks worse than it is, and
I think she's probably a lot happier now than she was 5 minutes ago.
Getting them out is important. So anyways, we're going to go clean her up and see if we are missing any. Well, she's looking far less than impressed with us, but we've cleaned her up a bit, and we actually found 3 more under her top lip, right in her top gum. So she's going to be a little sore for the next few days, I imagine. Better to get them out, and you definitely want to be looking under the lips, because like I said with the sheep, they tend to get them right in the nose because they come up and they nose the porcupine, and the porcupine swings, and the rest is history.
So right now, because we got these out quite clean, we've washed her nose and kind of dried it a little bit without putting too much pressure on because she's really feeling it. There had to have been at least 50 quills in there, if not more. So she's definitely feeling it. But we're not going to put anything on this right now. We're just going to kind of watch her. We'll bring them in again tomorrow night and check her again. But right now it's very clean and she's going to be eating. So to put some sort of goop on there, I think isn't going to work very well because it'll just basically hold all the dirt and guck that's going to get on her.
It's awfully hard to put blue coat on the end of her nose.
Yeah, so we're going to leave her and just monitor this, but as we said, we've dealt with porcupine quills in the nose before, and everybody's come out of it relatively unscathed, including us. So I think she's done an amazing job. I have to say, she was, or is, our wildest lamb from this season. And you know what? She let us catch her, not too bad, and she dealt with that like a real trooper. It could not have been fun. And she behaved very well. One thing I did want to talk about again, and we tried this as much as possible when we were working with her, is not to hold the horns if you can help it on these young sheep. Whether it's a ram or a ewe, it's still equally important for those sheep horns to not get damaged before they're firmly anchored. So it looks like we're really bracing her in here, but it's a better option than holding those horns.
That's done. Not something we were expecting to do today. But we did a bit of a check. Nobody else seems to have any quills in their noses that we can see anyways, so I'm going to assume that it's kind of an isolated incident. That's usually what happens. So yeah, that's the end of that.
Now it's time to go to Thanksgiving dinner late.
As often seems to happen when you're raising Icelandic sheep. We're often late for functions, specifically because of them. But anyways, all in all, didn't go too bad, and yeah, just some heads up if you ever have to deal with it yourself. Fortunately, we didn't have to cut them, as I thought we might, because they were pretty young. They came out. She wasn't happy about it, but that's the end of that little mishap.